everyone, and welcome back to a brand new speed build. Today I have the Willow Creek Hospital for you guys, and I am so excited to share this because ever since I built this, I have been wanting to share this, but then the new expansion pack came out and everything like that, and I've had a lot in my life, like I've been busy, so it hasn't come out until now, but I am so excited to share this because I am so happy and so proud over how this build turned out, and I really hope you guys will like it as well. So if you didn't know, with the Get to Work expansion pack, which was the first expansion pack we got, like way back in 2015, I think? Because I think the only pack we got in 2014 when the game launched was Outdoor Retreat, or maybe this came out in 2014. I don't completely remember. It was one of the two, but it was one of the first packs we ever got, and it was the first expansion pack we ever got. And with Get to Work, you are able to like join your Sims in their careers, and they added the careers of a scientist, a detective. You can also like retail wise, like you can own a store and stuff like that, but then also you can be a doctor. And if you didn't know, the hospital and the police station are like right next to each other, like in the back of this build. You can kind of like see the police station, the default one. And yeah, so when you go to work, if you're a doctor and if you go to work with your Sims, that sounds weird, but yeah, if you follow them to work, that also sounds weird. Anyways, you get what I mean. You will go to this hospital, and a lot of you might not know that you can build on this lot. So you can build on this lot, and you can build on the scientists and the laboratory lot, I think, yeah, and also on the like police station lot and stuff like that. And you do that by pressing like when you're here, so basically you have to have a sim who like lives here, or really have to visit here, but it's lives here, what, who works here, or one who lives here, or not lives here, oh my god, or one that is a patient here. This is not going well, but I made it so that like I had a sim that worked here, so I like followed them to work, or like I joined them when they were working, and basically then when you're on the lot, you can press Control-Shift-C to get like the sheet menu up, and then you just put bb.enable free build mode, I think is what it's called. I will plop it up here on the screen so that you can, you know, look at it to see it if I'm not explaining it well, but yeah, so that's how you do it, and then you can just build here, and there are no actual like restrictions to this slot. Like you can put whatever you want, and you don't actually have to have a like patient bed or anything like that, but obviously if you're gonna work here you need to, so I made sure that I have like everything you need, and you can also do this if you like want to build the school, I think. Oh no, actually I think the school you can just build. Yeah, you can. I don't know what I'm thinking of. For some reason, I feel like building this in the school was kind of similar because they're not homes and they are community lots, but there's one of a kind. Because, like, you can't build the hospital anywhere else that is functional, at least. Yeah, so obviously, if you didn't know either, the world that this is built in, like, obviously, it's kind of like a wormhole world. Like, you can't access this lot or the, like, police station lot just through like a world menu. Like they're kind of hidden, but they're supposed to be in Willow Creek, so I think this hospital is like originally called the Willow Creek Hospital, so that's what I ended up calling it. And the same with like, again, the police station, it's also here, and Magnolia Promenade is a world of its own, but it's supposed to be still in Willow Creek, and you can kind of see that by like the landscaping and the surrounding builds, like they're all very similar, so I always just imagine it to be Willow Creek. And when I've seen like Sims 4 maps that people have made of like, this is where, you know, the worlds are, if it was like a map and, you know, stuff like that, like Magnolia Promenade and Willow Creek are like the same because they're supposed to be the same. So yeah, if you're wondering why this, like I called it a Willow Creek Hospital even though you can't access this in Willow Creek, that is why it's supposed to be there, and that is canon. Like that's not me just making it up, like that is canon. But yeah, anyways, so I was so excited to build this. I've been wanting to build a hospital in the game for forever, and obviously for my save file I need to, and the same with like, at some point I need to build a police station and the like laboratory and everything like that, but I'm kind of scared. I know I'll do it and I know it will go well, but I'm kind of scared. By the way, the laboratory is not in Willow Creek. That one is actually off of Oasis Springs, if you didn't know, which is kind of funny, which is also why, if you've ever seen like a build for the first generation of the Not So Berry challenge, you might realize that most of them are in Oasis Springs, and that's just because obviously in the first generation of the Not So Berry Challenge, you're supposed to live, or not live, you're supposed to work in the laboratory, which is again in Oasis Springs, so it makes sense that like you live close by. But yeah, so if you're wondering why that one is not with together with like the hospital and the police station in this area, that is why. But yeah, again, I've been wanting to build this for forever, and yeah, I've been kind of intimidated to do it, and I feel like that's the case with a lot of these types of lofts. The same was when I built the Copperdale High School, which I built like over a year ago. Is it almost 2 years ago? It's something like that. It feels like it was yesterday for me, but it's actually been a while. But yeah, I absolutely loved building that, and so I was intimidated to build this, but I also knew that I was gonna have fun. And one day, I don't know why, it just came over me, and I had this idea. So this what? This build is not based off of a like reference picture at all. This is kind of just what I had in mind, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know where this came from, but I really like it, and they're basically just boxes because I decided to make this hospital kind of like a modern building because it just makes sense. I feel like all hospitals are a modern, maybe like, what, I don't know what they're called, but when you have like your local like doctor's office, like that type of stuff, like those are sometimes not like modern, but like if you have like an actual like hospital that are big and where you have like surgeries and x-rays and everything like that, I feel like those are always modern, at least the ones that I've seen in real life and like TV and stuff like that. They're always modern, which would make sense because like medicine is supposed to be up to date and stuff like that, so I guess it makes sense. So like I said, this is not based off of like a single picture. This is just kind of what I had in mind, but basically again, they're just boxes because it's a modern build, so they're basically just boxes. There ends up being 4 stories technically, so 3 stories like upstairs, and then there ends up being a basement. So there ends up being 3 stories, and the top part is smaller than the other 2 stories, and that's just because I don't know, that's kind of just how it worked out. And there also ends up being a like side building that ends up being a pharmacy, which I had so much fun doing, and I was looking forward to that so much, because if you didn't know, I work at a pharmacy, so I had so much fun with that, and I will talk about it later, about like what I was doing in there and like why I did certain things, but I had so much fun with that, and I was so excited to do that. And I also feel like that would make sense for a hospital to have like a pharmacy, if not like within the hospital, to have it like right outside, because maybe you've like gotten a prescription for something and you need to, go to the pharmacy and get it, or whatever. So I wanted there to be a pharmacy on this lot as well. There also ends up being a little like car park. You will see to the left of this lot, that's where like I end up making this little like car park, like parking station place, I don't know what to call it, but on this side there also is already kind of like lines for cars to be, so it doesn't really make sense, but I didn't know what to do with that space, so I decided to do that, and I feel like in the end it looks good. But then there also ends up being some, of course, like seating areas outside and stuff like that. But one of the like most fun things that I did, and something that I like knew I wanted to do, was I made a like helicopter pad. So I feel like, again, in every hospital I have ever seen or been in, because I've been in a lot of different hospitals, I'm gonna probably talk about this later, but I'm very accident prone, so I've been to a lot of hospitals, and all the ones I've been to, they all have like a helicopter pad, if not like on the roof, like next to the building. And I feel like that would make sense, at least if it's like a big hospital. Again, if it's like your local doctor's office or like a small town hospital, like you probably wouldn't, but like I was imagining that this is like the main hospital. Obviously this is the only hospital we do have in game, so it would make sense, but I wanted there to be a helicopter pad, so I made one. So on the like 3rd floor, I guess, you will see that outside of the like 3rd floor, I don't know what to call it, there ends up being, I'm not gonna call it a balcony because it's a very big balcony, but it ends up being like a space where I do make that helicopter pad, and there's a door out to it from the 3rd floor. And basically how I made this helicopter pad, you will see me do it, is I put in the end I put like a rug, and then I use these like light strips that I usually I use them when I'm making like parking spaces, because I just feel like they make great like white lines, but I use those on top of the rug, and I made them red because I always feel like when there's like a helicopter pad and there's this big like H, it's always in red, and maybe that's just me, I don't know, maybe that's not true, but I feel like that's the case, so that's what I did. But I made them red, and then I spelled out like an H, again, to have like a helicopter pad, because I also feel like that's the case in every country. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I know it's the case like here in Sweden at least, like we have an H because it's helicopter, it's like the same thing. I think that's also just for like to make things easy. But so I made an H, and then you will see in the screenshots, and you will see me probably do it as well. I I wanted there to be a helicopter, but we don't have a helicoptering game. We have like cars and stuff like that, and we have like boats like in the live edit menu. They're not actually functional, but we have this little like toy helicopter. So I sliced that up, and I'm aware that it doesn't look great, but it's like the only option I had, so that's what I ended up doing. So I apologize for that, but I feel like in the end it looks fine. It doesn't look too out of place, but it looks a little out of place because I did slice it up, and originally it is such a tiny object. It is so small, and so when you slice it up, you can see that it's not going to be very high quality. So it looks to be a little like blurry and stuff like that, but I really wanted there to be a helicopter, and I feel like if you look at a distance it's fine, so I just let that be. I was debating on using a like airplane instead, because I do have some like toy airplanes, but they're bigger, so like when you slice them up they don't look as bad, but it wouldn't make sense to have like a plane. So yeah, I ended up slicing that helicopter up, but again, I am aware it looks a little raggedy, but I feel like it's fine. Don't look too hard at it. But I'm really proud of that as well, because I feel like it just ties the build together, and I feel like it works really well. But yeah, so I've kind of talked about what's on the exterior now. So on the interior, obviously there ends up being a lot of different things. So there ends up being the pharmacy, which once again, I had so much fun with, and that is in the like exterior build, like it's the other building basically. But yeah, I had so much fun with that, because again, I work at a pharmacy. I have for like a year. I'm not like a pharmacist or anything like that. I just work there extra. And I had so much fun with it, because I made this like little like prescription area, which I based this pharmacy off of pharmacies that I have been to here in Sweden. So I don't know if this is going to be accurate to other countries. Let me know if like this is kind of how your pharmacies look, but I don't know, there might not, because I know different pharmacies look different, but I based them off of like the pharmacies I've been to, which, to be fair, I guess I have been to once in like Greece and Spain, and I think one in the US, but I don't remember when I was there. Like, I was there years ago, so I don't remember that. And then I think I might have been in one when I was in the UK a couple of months ago, but I don't remember. I think it was more like a drugstore, like that type of, like, it had like makeup and stuff like that as well, so I don't know if it was an actual pharmacy. And different pharmacies in different countries do different things, but anyways, I based it off of a pharmacy, like, again, the one kind of like that I work at, or like similar ones. So there ends up being a little like prescription area, and then, which I also like, I didn't have a lot of space in there, so that also ends up being like the regular like checkout area. Obviously, again, the pharmacy is not actually functional, it's more so just for the looks, but in my opinion it looks so good, and it's also realistic, again, to have like a pharmacy, so you know, it's fine. But again, for the third time, there ends up being a prescription area, and then I had so much fun cluttering up some shelves. And normally pharmacies have, like, you know, sectioned like of things, like here's your cold medicine section, here's your like eye drops section. That was really hard to say. And like here's your like maybe like makeup section and whatnot. Like there are a bunch of different section, like sunscreen section and stuff like that. But with the amount of space I had, and also with the amount of objects I had, I decided to kind of just mismatch them. So you will see me clutter things up, but I did also I don't know, not show you all of it because I just did not have time. But I had so much fun clearing up, and I did use some like debug medicine we have from a few different packs. We have some obviously from Get to Work, like that you can use like here from the hospital, but then we also have some from like being actually Werewolves, which is really random. But then I also just put some like body lotion, stuff like that, because pharmacies, at least here, sell that as well, and like sunscreen and like toothbrushes and whatnot. And I had so much fun cluttering surfaces up, and I also put like a couple of like fridges because some medicines needs to be in a fridge. So yeah, I just had so much fun with the pharmacy, and I tried to make it realistic to what it looks like here. I also stacked some like filing cabinets that are from the Get to Work expansion pack as well, but I stacked those like behind the prescription area because again, I don't know if this is how it is in other countries, but here that is like where you would have the medicine. So like you will go, like if let's say that you're like going to get your prescription, you go to the counter, you, like they look in the system, you know, everything like that, like they get your information, and then when they know what medication you need, they will go and like pull one of those drawers out and it will be in that. So I tried to kind of replicate it in this. Again, I don't know if that's how it is in other countries, but I'm just going off of like what I'm used to. And again, I work at a pharmacy, so I kind of can base it off of like what I've always worked at, and also what like if I'm at other pharmacies, this is what it looks like kind of. So yeah, again, I had a lot of fun with it, and hope at least it's kind of realistic for you guys as well. It's realistic for me, but I hope it's realistic for you guys as well. And yeah, there also ends up being a little like waiting area in the pharmacy because sometimes there's a lot of people there. Maybe some people need to sit down and stuff like that. So yeah, again, the pharmacy is really small, but I had so much fun with it, and I really hope you guys like it as well. I know probably like no one cares other than me, but that's just because again, I work at a pharmacy and I have for over a year now. I love it there. I don't know, I had so much fun with it. But yeah, anyways, moving on to like the main actual like hospital. So when you walk through the doors, there will be a little like, I don't know, like reception area, I guess, like where you can, like a main desk, you know, the front desk. And there also ends up being some like seating areas and stuff like that. All throughout the build, again, I went with a kind of like modern theme, like modern style. And when it comes to like the sofas and armchairs like all over the place, I decided to use the ones from the Dream Home Decorator game pack, and I used the sectional ones from that pack, and mostly just because I wanted there to be like a cohesive theme or like cohesive furniture throughout the entire hospital. And if you use the sectionals, you have the options of like making a like sofa or like a couch, or to make like armchairs. So I felt like that was just, it just made sense, honestly. And one of the favorite things that I did with those like sectional couches or like armchairs or whatever you would call it, is that I made this, like you will see it in the front entryway, and I make it throughout like some other places in the hospital, but you won't see me do that because I did have to edit out like some hallways and stuff like that, because no one wants to sit here and watch me build like hallways for like 2 hours. Like, no thank you. But I did edit them out, but you will see me doing the first hallway again, like the initial like hallway when you walk right in, and I use those like sectional, against like sectional sofas, and I make a kind of like rectangle that like goes around, because I feel like those are also really realistic to have like in a hospital. And then I like there ends up being like an empty space in the middle, and so I didn't really know what to do. But I discovered that if you size down a plant that we have from City Living, like it ends up working perfectly. So there ends up being like a little bit of like a plant space in the middle, which I love. Again, I feel like also plants in a hospital just make sense. So I really like it, and I feel like it looks really good. I know it's like a little detail, but I really, really like it. And then another thing that I absolutely love that I did in that like front initial hallway, but that also ends up being on like all the floors, are the elevators. So last week I talked about how you can't technically have several elevators on one lot in this game, but the game does not like it, and it does not let you save the lot. Someone said that you can do it if you place like the elevator like on top of each other, but that's what I did in this one. But I think maybe because I tried to put two next to each other, it didn't work, but I don't know. Basically what I ended up doing instead was I made my own elevators. And so this is not like my idea. There's probably people that have done this before as well, but I saw Jessica Pye do this in her like accessible like build or apartment building or whatever it was called that she did like a couple of months ago, which was like amazing, so go check that out if you want to. But I saw that she also made like a custom elevator, so I decided to try it myself, and I put my own little spin on it. But I really like it. There ends up being like two elevators next to each other, and they go up and down, and like I use the sliding doors that are from base game just because I feel like they make sense as well. They slide to like the left or the right, I think it's the left, which obviously elevators usually open in the middle, but they looked the most like elevator doors in my opinion, so I used them. But then there also ends up being a clock above those elevator or like those glass doors, and then I put some ball decal arrows that we have. I think they might be from the Get to Work expansion pack. I'm not 100% sure, but or the base game, I'm not 100% sure, but I end up using those, and they have like arrows up and down to like signalize that they go up and down. Like I was thinking that the clock is probably like which floor it's on right now, and then I sized down some, again, just wall decorations, like random ones, to like make it look like there were buttons, so that you can press the, like, I want to go up, I want to go down. And then within the elevator itself, I end up using a debug sign, and then also more of those like wall decorations to make it look like buttons. And the sign I was thinking is like, press this button to get to this floor, you know? So yeah, I'm really happy with them. I feel like they look really good. I only show you me doing, I think, 1 or 2, because then I just like copied the rooms because I'm not gonna sit here and like redo them like 15 times. No, I'm not gonna do that. So I just copied the rooms. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense because the elevators look the exact same, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, there's ends being those elevators, and then if you walk like straight forward in that first initial hallway, you will get to another hallway which leads out to like the back area of the lot, but there also ends up being another door through that to the left that ends up being to the bathrooms, and there ends up being bathrooms both on that floor and on the second floor in the cafeteria. And then there ends up being on the basement, you will see me do this later, but there ends up being a like changing room, which I was thinking is for like the employees, because if you ever watch Grey's Anatomy you know that they have their changing rooms. Instead of like Grey's Anatomy, obviously is not a real hospital, so like you know, and also they have like a lot of more space, so they have like the interns changing rooms, like the residents ones and stuff like that. But for this one, I only did like one big one, but there's a being bathrooms down in that as well, so there are plenty of bathrooms in this build. But there also ends up being a like little gift shop, because for some reasons hospitals have gift shops, which like I never thought about until I was building this, how weird that is. Because like I get that like you'll probably, well, okay, I kind of get it, but I also don't. Because, like, why do hospitals have merch? That is a little weird. And, like, I don't know. Basically, I was imagining when I was doing that either people are, like, buying maybe, like, flowers or something like that. I ended up putting some jewelry in there as well. I don't know why. I just didn't know what to put, so I put some jewelry. It was really random. But I... don't question me on why I did that, because I don't know. But I ended up putting some, like, flower bouquets like that, and I ended up also using some like debug flowers and some jars to again just like make some like flower bouquets, like custom flower bouquets kind of, because I was thinking again that maybe people are getting like flowers, like, you know, get better flowers and like that. But then I also put some like actually not some a lot of different kids toys, because I was thinking that people maybe use the gift shop mostly to buy like gifts for new parents, like they've just given birth, and so like here's like a stuffed animal for the kid or something like that. I don't know. I also put some balloons, because I feel like for some reason you bring balloons to the hospital. To be fair, I don't understand it, but there are always some type of gift shop, and I feel like again maybe that's just, I was gonna say that's just an American thing. There's probably a thing here as well, but I feel like I mostly see it in like American shows, so I don't know. But anyways, that's a thing. I also put like some a couple of fridges there, because I was thinking maybe they have some like drinks or something, even though there ends up being a cafeteria upstairs. But yeah, so it ends up being a little gift shop, which like again, it sounds good, but when you really think of it, why on earth do hospitals have gift shops? I don't know. If you work in a hospital, let me know. Why do you have gift shops? Like you would know. Anyways, there also ends up being on that same floor, there ends up being a couple of different like exam rooms. So that is, again, if you walk through like the front door on the first, like again the first initial hallway with like the elevators and stuff like that, you walk through in another door, and then you go right, there ends up being a few different examination rooms. So the one that is like at the like end of the hallway is like the big one. There ends up being like 3 beds in there, and some like other like clutter and stuff like that. And then there also ends up being another kind of big one. It has 2 beds, but I was thinking that that's like the kids' place. Obviously in game everyone will go there, but In my mind, I was thinking it's like the kids' place because each hospital has like, you know, the kids' ward or whatever. And again, this hospital is not big enough for me to like actually build like separate wards. So I'm so sorry for that, but I tried my best, I promise. Um, but yeah, it ends up being like a lot of different like, I don't know, kids drawings and like some kids toys and stuff like that in there. Because again, I was thinking that it's the kids, I don't know, examination room or whatever. But then it also ends up being two private rooms where I was thinking that they're probably like doctors' offices. So I also put some like, what's it called? Like a desk and a chair and like a computer and some like awards that I was thinking either it's like awards or like diplomas to like show that this doctor is, you know, certified. So that's like the first floor. And then I'm gonna go down to the basement. I was thinking I was gonna go upstairs. The basement is the last thing you will see me do, to be fair. But the basement is pretty easy. Again, like I said, there ends up being the like changing rooms. And there also ends up being the X-ray machines, which the X-rays machine, the X-rays machines. That's really hard to say for some reason. There ends up being two of them. They're in two separate rooms, and there also ends up being like a patient bed in both of them. So your patients might go downstairs to those as well. And there also ends up being like a lab room because I was thinking that that's where like all of the lab tests and stuff like that is done in this hospital, which I feel like is not talked about enough in like TV shows, at least in the ones I watch that are like hospital based. I feel like the one that actually talks about it is like Chicago Med in like the first season, I think, because one of the people there are like dating one of the lab people. But I was thinking again that the lab would also be in the basement, would make sense for me, as well as like the X-ray machines. That's really hard to say. I don't know why, but anyways, which I don't know why, but for me, I just feel like the like X-rays is always in the basement. I know that's not true because in the hospital that is like closest to me, I think it's on the like second floor or something like that. But for me in my head, X-rays are in the basement, and I don't know why, but they are. But yeah, anyways, there ends up being again a little like laboratory room, where there ends up being like a couple of desks, and like if you go through those like desks, there ends up being another room connected to that room where there actually like lab things are. So I was thinking that again, there are people in this hospital that work specifically with just lab stuff, so that's like their workspace. They're sadly in the basement, which is not fun because they don't get any natural light, but it's okay. And then on the second floor, let's move up there. Like I mentioned, there are like some bathrooms, but there's also the cafeteria because I feel like every hospital has a cafeteria. It's kind of big, but I feel like it works. That's also the floor where the like surgery machines ends up being, which I'm sorry, can we talk about, because I know this gets talked about, but I feel like it needs to get more talked about, how the surgery machines in this game are so weird. Like, they're so weird. Because obviously, like, I've only ever seen them when, like, my Sims give birth. Like, when I've been playing the 100 Baby Challenge, basically. But it's been a while since I played in a hospital in this game, to be fair. But anyways, the machines, they have super glue and a whisk. Why do you need super glue and a whisk? I was talking to like some of my friends about it and like my boyfriend when I was building this. I was like, why do they have super glue? And they were like, I mean, that kind of makes sense because sometimes to like seal wounds and stuff like that, you like use glue, but it looks like Elmer's glue, like school glue. It's not super glue. I don't know why I've been saying super glue, but like it looks like Elmer's glue, and I don't understand that. And also, like, when you're open, like, on the table, like, giving birth or, like, having another surgery, like, what? And then the whisk. The whisk is what I'm concerned about. Like, don't whisk around in my, like, in my insides. Like, that's just weird. It is The Sims, so it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. It doesn't have to be realistic, but I don't know why that's a thing. But anyways, there ends up being 3 different like surgery rooms. I also did something that I was really excited about, which might sound really weird, but again, I feel like at least in shows that I watch, I've never actually seen this in real life, but I feel like in shows that I watch, there's always like around the like, I guess it would be in like the like children's wards because like that's I guess where you go when you've given birth. I don't know. I've never been in a hospital because someone has given birth that I know. Like, no. But I think that's the thing. Anyways, they're always in shows. They're always like these cribs like lined up of like newborn babies, and then there are windows from the hallway into that, and I don't understand why. It's a little creepy, but I did that in this hospital because I really wanted to. Because I feel like, again, it's just something I see every time I watch like a like medical drama or something like that, which I feel like you guys should know. I know for a fact that like medical dramas are not always realistic. I am aware. And so I'm not saying that this is what a hospital has. Like, if you work in a hospital, don't take offense. Like, this is not where I'm saying like that you guys have this. I'm just saying this is what I've seen, and like in some hospitals that I've been in, some of the things that I did in this like are a thing. But like the baby thing, I've never seen in real life, but I feel like I've seen it so many times at this point, so I felt like I had to. But so there ends up being like a little baby room, and there ends up being some windows into it. It's really it's really weird, kind of, and a little bit creepy, but I like it. And there also ends up being a like another examination room, but I do put the like medical treadmill treadmill that we also got from the Get to Work expansion pack. I think, like, obviously the Get to Work expansion pack is the one I use the most in this. If you're wondering what other packs I use, there will be a full list in the description box. This is not pack restricted, so there's probably a lot, and I'm so sorry for that. I'm gonna try to make some more pack restricted builds, I promise. But for this one, I went loose with all the packs. I'm so sorry. But yeah, there ends up being this like medical treadmill because I realized that I didn't have a place at first to put that, and then so I made that little examination room or office or whatever into that. It also ends up being kind of like an office because I think I put a desk in there as well. So yeah. Anyways, the third floor is obviously the final floor. And like I said before, it has the like helicopter pad off of it. And then it also has the like employees lunchroom kind of. Obviously I feel like any sim could probably access that. So like if you're a patient here, you can probably access it. But I was thinking that that's like where the employees eat, which to be fair, it's a little weird that they have like their changing rooms in the basement, and then they have to go all the way up to the third floor to eat. It sounds a little weird, but it's fine. I mean, they can eat in the cafeteria, but I was thinking that they probably should have their own little like lunch space, so like they can put their, if they, bring their own food, they can put that there, or if they just on their break and they need to chill, they can go there. But then there also ends up being on the third floor another like kind of like laboratory room, because I honestly didn't know what to do with that room, so it ends up being a little laboratory room is there as well. And I made a therapist office, which some people might find weird, but I feel like every hospital has a therapist's office, and obviously in The Sims we don't actually have like therapists, which actually that would be fun if we had. I feel like that would be a fun career to have. I don't know. I don't actually play the game, I just build, but I feel like that would be a fun career. But I tried to make a little like therapist's office, so I put like a desk obviously and some like bookshelves and stuff like that, but I also ended up putting some like sofas, stuff like that. I tried to make it a little bit more like homey or like comfortable, because again, I feel like that's what therapist offices are supposed to be. I've been to my fair share of therapist offices. Yeah, sure. So I felt like I knew what I was doing there. It's kind of like the same with the what's it called, with the like pharmacy. Like I felt like I knew what I was doing because again, I've been to a lot of different therapist office. We don't talk about it, but yes, I tried to again make it like as homely as possible. But yeah, I think that's it for like what's in this hospital and stuff like that. Obviously you will see me decorate everything as well. I mean, that's the point of this video, obviously. But if you have any questions, as always, just ask me in the comments and I will happily answer. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else. If there is, I will mention it when I see it, because that sometimes happens. Like, because now, if you didn't know, if this is your first build here, or first build here, your first video here, first off, hi, thank you for sticking around for this long. I'm surprised, but hi, welcome, I'm Mal, and this is what I do. If you've been here before, you're probably tired of me saying this, but this is what I do. I talk about the build, and when I'm done talking about like everything I want to talk about with the build, I start rambling about stuff, about my own life or about things in the world or whatever. So if you don't like that, I am so sorry, but that is what you get here. So too bad. Anyways, yeah, again, sometimes when I'm rambling, I see things throughout the build and I'm like, all right, I wanted to talk about this, but I don't think there's another thing I want to talk about. I don't think so. I don't know. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And again, if you want to place this build, obviously it will be up on my gallery and the tray files will be linked down below. My gallery ID is Simsa04, which is also, by the way, the code that you can use when purchasing anything in the EA app on PC to give me a little bit of a commission, because basically 5% of the thing you buy, so like let's say you buy a pack for like $30 or whatever, that like 5% of that will go to me if you use my creator code. So if you want to, you can. I've listed it in the description box as well if you forget, but if you want to, you can. You don't have to at all, but if you want to, you can. And the tray files, by the way, will also be linked in the description box. Remind me if they're not linked. Someone did that today on last week's video. They asked like where are the tray files, so I uploaded them right away as soon as I saw that, because I forget a lot of the time, because it's just I don't do them right away for some reason, so I always forget about them, so I need some reminding sometimes. But yeah, anyways, moving on to rambles. What do I have this week? First off, how are you guys? I hope you're well. I always say that. I am okay. I'm tired. I'm very tired. I'm also, like, I'm good, but it's been a weird week because I mentioned last week that I started college for the first time. No, it's not for the first time, but I started college back up after 2 years this week, and it's kind of weird. It's a little weird because obviously, like, I talk to my friends and my boyfriends like all the time, like every day, and so obviously I'm social, like I'm pretty social. I'm an introvert, but like I'm social on my own terms, you know, and I feel like online it's not as draining, but going to school and meeting like a bunch of new people has kind of drained me, and so I've been really tired. And so when I came home yesterday, which was Friday, I'm recording this on Saturday, but when I came home yesterday, I fell asleep. I was so tired, and then I woke up like 6 hours later. I was up for like 3 hours. I fell asleep again, slept for like 10 hours, was up for like 3 hours again, and then fell asleep for another like 5 hours. So I've been sleeping like crazy the past few days, but or like the past day basically. But again, I really needed it because it's kind of socially draining, especially if you are like an introvert like I am. It's kind of socially draining to not only like go back and like learn things. We didn't start classes really because this was kind of like an introduction week, but then like socially it's kind of draining, but it's been really fun. I'm going to something that if you are in Sweden you will kind of know what this is. So it's not like regular college or like regular university. It's kind of like an in-between thing, which is a lot more like relaxed, if that makes sense. If you're from Sweden, you might know what folkhögskola is. So that's what I'm doing. Again, it's kind of like an in-between thing between like college and university, and it's a lot more freer and stuff like that, and that is nice for me because I got burnt out in regular college, so I need to do this, and it's been really nice. Again, we had an introduction week, which was really fun. It was kind of also like boring and long. I want to start my classes, which I do next week on Monday, which I'm really excited about. And my schedule is really nice. Like I don't start too early and I don't end too early. It does take me some time to get there because I have to both take a bus and a train, but it's not too bad. I've done worse, so it's fine. But yeah, so far so good. Like I've met so many nice people already. Like I have some new friends and stuff like that, which is really nice because I was really nervous about that. Again, because I am an introvert as well. I was just kind of scared of like I wasn't gonna find my people, but I did, and we're only like 16 people in my class, and so it's really easy, and everyone is super nice. So it's, yeah, I've got some new friends, which is really cool. But yeah, it's been an interesting week, let's say, because again, it was introduction week, so we kind of just didn't have classes, but we did other things. And so like the first 2 days were just like information based and stuff like that, and then Thursday was also kind of just like information, Friday, we like yesterday for me, we were supposed to go through like regular classes, but my first 2 periods, I only have 3 periods a day, but they're like 80 minutes each. I think one is 90 minutes. I think so. But so they're pretty long, but the first two are supposed to be like, you can work on whatever you need to work on. So it's basically just time to like work on assignments in different classes. So like one person in the class might do math and another one might do like English or whatever. So because we haven't started anything, we just like did random stuff. I think we wrote a letter and we did some like art stuff, which is really fun. Again, it's not like regular school, so it's kind of chill, and I really like it. And then we had we were supposed to have Swedish the last lesson, like my last class, or the last period or whatever. But again, we had like, I think it was like 10 minutes maybe, and then we ended because our Swedish teacher was just like, everyone is too tired for this, like we're just gonna chill today, which is really nice. Yeah, so all these have been fine except for Wednesday. I did not forget about Wednesday, if you thought I did, because Wednesday was hell. Okay, it wasn't actually that bad, but I was dreading it because we went on a hike for no reason at all. Like, I genuinely don't know why we went on a hike. It was like 12 kilometers there and back. Like together there and back, it was like 12 kilometers. So it wasn't too bad. Like, and I don't mind walking. Like, I like walking, but it has to be on my own terms. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because it was raining that day as well, which everyone was so sad about, but I was so happy. Because I don't like the sun. Me and the sun were not friends. I've talked about it before, but like I get super easily burnt, and I'm also the type of person, I get really easily like red and like sweaty, even though like I do nothing, and that is not me being like, I don't know, untrained, that's not what it's called, but like that is not me not being like fit or whatever. That is just me being at me. First off, I have asthma, so me not being able to breathe, that's a different issue. But then also I have the ginger genes, so I get red really easily, and I also just sweat like in my face very easily if I do something. So it feels kind of disgusting to do that around like new people, you know? I should probably not be telling you this either because I feel disgusting. But anyways, so I was a little nervous, but because it was raining, it was really nice, and it was like super nice to like be walking and then having rain on your face. Everyone else was like complaining, but I was having the time of my life. But so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and like half of it was in the woods, like half of it was kind of like city, whatever. But it was fine when I was doing it, except for when I got home. And after I had sat down for like a couple of hours, I stood up and I was like, I can't walk. Because I injured my left foot, so I've been like wobbling around for the past few days, because I can't really walk right now. So basically we think I tore a ligament, which is not too uncommon for me. I've talked about before how I have a condition which makes it so that I walk weirdly. I think it's just called like prone. I think it's called like proning. I don't know if that's what it's called, but basically if you search like, I think that's what it's called, if you search like prone feet, maybe, I don't know. Okay, I looked it up, and I mean you can Google that, but it's also called like pronated feet or whatever. So basically I walk very weirdly, and I very easily like twist my ankles, and like my foot just goes wrong and stuff like that. Like that happens a lot, so I'm used to it. But when we were hiking, I like twisted my ankle, or like my foot got, is that what it's called when like, you know, you walk and then your foot like goes to the side, you know? That happened with especially my left foot, I think at least 5 times. So at the time, like I noticed it happened, but I didn't think much of it because it happens all the time. But then again, after I had gotten home and like I'd settled down and like the adrenaline was off and stuff like that, I stood up and I couldn't walk. So again, we think I've torn out like a ligament or something. But yeah, so I've been wobbling around, and the funny thing is that I told my like my classmates and stuff like that, and even my teacher, I was like, because my teacher was like, I hope you guys are okay with this because we're gonna be doing this a lot, because my one of my teachers, the one that said that, she's very like outdoorsy, and so she wants us to like go out a lot, which is fine. Again, I don't mind it, but I told her, I was like, it's fine, but be prepared that I'm gonna injure myself, and here we are. So it was really funny And I had also joked the day before to like some of my friends in my class now, because like we take the same train and stuff like that, and I was joking about how like haha, I should like injure my foot so I don't have to walk tomorrow. And then obviously I didn't. Well, I did technically, because I injure myself all the time, and I did like you know how you can like what's it called, like you stub your toe. I did that, but with my like entire foot into a thing, like into a furniture piece or whatever it's called. So I mean, I did, but it wasn't like too bad. It hurt a little bit, but I can still walk. But then I was like, it's either that or I'm gonna actually injure myself as I'm like walking, and look what I did. So I wasn't kidding to them when I said that I'm very injury prone. Like I'm accident prone as well, which is also like, again, I talked about like earlier in this build, like I've been to a lot of hospitals because first off, my immune system is god awful, and so I get sick a lot, and then also I'm very accident prone. I'm like the clumsiest person alive. It's really funny, like me and my friends, my boyfriend, we all make fun of it because and my family, like, because that's the only way to do it, like, it's to make fun of it. I am not kidding when I say I walk into the same wall in my house every day, at least like once a day, and I have lived in this house for 9 years. Like, I don't know, my spatial awareness is also really, really bad, which apparently has something to do with me being hypermobile, which is really funny to me. And it might also have to do with like ADHD stuff, which I am not diagnosed with ADHD yet, but we are looking into it, so it might have to do with that. I'm not self-diagnosing myself, but if I do have it, which some of my doctors do think I have, then that would also make sense. But basically my spatial awareness is god awful, so yeah, I walk into the same wall every single day. And so that's like, I've been to hospitals a lot. Plus, as a kid, I was sick a lot. Nothing like serious. I just was sick a lot. And so I had to be in the hospital. And then I have gotten so many x-rays. I've never actually broken anything because I don't know why. Apparently I have really strong bones, but I've never broken anything. But I've gotten so many x-rays because, again, very accident prone. And my doctors have always thought that I've like broken stuff, but I haven't. I have like gotten like twisted ankles and stuff like that, like so many times, like too many times to count. I have also gotten like serious muscle injuries in my wrist before, and I got a seriously like crush injury when I was a kid to my foot, which was really funny. I'm not going to talk about it like too much because I don't want to gross people out, and I also know that some people are not good at like hearing that stuff, so I'm not gonna go graphic, but yeah, I had a pretty serious crush injury to my foot when I was a kid. So yeah, I've been in hospitals a lot. And it's, again, really funny. Plus, like, nowadays I'm on a lot of different medications and stuff like that, so I have to see doctors pretty regularly. Again, nothing too serious, don't worry, it's just like I'm on a lot of different medications for a lot of different stuff. But yeah, it's just really funny that I'm in hospitals a lot. But anyways, so yeah, I wasn't lying to my new college friends and teachers when I said I was gonna injure myself. So the day after, when I like came wobbling, they were like, "You weren't kidding, huh?" And I was like, "No, I was not." And it was really funny. But yeah, that's basically what I have done this week. Like, I've literally like gone to college and then basically done nothing else because I've been so tired. Me and my cousin, though, like my older cousin was here visiting, and so she left on Friday, which was really sad because I love her. But when I got home, because I was too tired to even like game or anything, I've been playing Overwatch with my friends, though, to be fair, like later at night. But right as I got home, I've been too tired to do like anything, so we've been watching like different documentaries and stuff like that. But then we've also been watching so many videos of idiots in cars, which, if you don't know what that is, it is hilarious. It's not fun when like people seriously get injured, but when people are just idiots in traffic, it is so funny. Because like, come on, it's not that hard to drive. And like, I don't know why. Plus, I don't know a lot about cars, let's be honest. But so many of these accidents that we see in these videos, they're like dash cam footages, but so many of them are caused by like a random wheel on the freeway or like on the road. Where is that wheel coming from? And how do you not notice that a wheel pops off your car? Like, it is so funny. Again, it's not funny when someone gets like seriously injured, and a lot of people don't in these. A lot of them are just like, I don't know, it's funny. But yeah. So Innocent Cars, I've loved them. Like, me and my cousins, we both or like we all watch them a lot because it's just so funny. The same with, we watched a lot of like failed army videos of like people, like the biggest fails of the years and stuff like that, which is also really funny. Again, not funny when people get seriously injured, but if people are stupid, it is really funny. And some people, I'm like, what did you think was gonna happen if you took a bicycle on the top of a car? Obviously the windshield is gonna break. Like, what do you think? And yeah, so it's really funny. So that's what I've been doing this week. And watching that, going to school, waking up early. I have to wake up early now, which is not fun. I have to wake up at like, depending on which bus and train I take, because like I have two options. So one, I have to wake up like a half an hour later or like earlier. So either I wake up at like 6:30 or I wake up at 6, which for you guys might sound like normal. For me, who's been just at home for like the last 2 years, unless I've been working, which when I work, I don't start before 9. Usually I start even later than 9. So I don't have to wake up this early. So it's really weird to wake up this early, and so I have to get my sleep schedule in check because I cannot like mess with my sleep schedule too much. I'm literally recording this at 2:14 a.m. so I feel like after this I probably should go to sleep, but also I'm currently drinking a monster but sleeping all day, so I don't know. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. I haven't really been doing anything else. I'm still rewatching what's called 911, which is really fun. I'm on the 4th season, I think. Yes, I am. Also, I lied to you last week. I didn't mean to. I said that I was rewatching it, but that I think I had only watched until the like 2nd season. I lied. I'd watched all the way through the 3rd season, but I didn't remember a lot of it. I like, every time I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah, this happened, or like, all right, that happened, but like I don't really remember it. So, but now we're on to unknown territory because now we're on season 4 and I have not watched this, and this is like COVID time, which is weird, and also it's scary right now because there's so much else going on in the world like similarly to COVID, which is not fun. And I do not want to think about it too much because I'm also in a risk group, which is not fun, and so is like people in my family, so I'd rather not think about the world right now. But yeah, anyways, what else has been going on? Oh my god, I tweeted about this. I'm talking about random things now because I don't know what to talk about, but I tweeted about this because you know what, this is what I'm gonna do after this, and then I'm gonna go to bed. But basically, if you have been on TikTok lately, you will know about the cucumber salad. It's been all over TikTok. It's this one guy specifically who's like, sometimes you need to eat an entire cucumber. This is how you do it, and stuff like that. And I have always loved cucumber. Like as a child, I would eat like entire cucumbers, no issues. I love vegetables. Like the majority of my diet consists of like vegetables, and that's not me being on a diet. No way. I've never been on a diet in my life. Mostly just because I don't need one, because I mostly just eat salads because it's my favorite food. You know, like during like birthdays and stuff like that, like in my family at least, we get to pick like what we eat on our birthdays, and both me and my brother every year we pick salads because we are insane. But yeah, so we love salads in my house, and like vegetables and fruits and everything like that. My thing is tomatoes. I love tomatoes. If anyone hates on tomatoes, I don't want to hear about it because tomatoes are the best. I literally ate too many as a child that I got allergic to them. I'm no longer allergic to them, thank you, like thank god, but it was a hard time for me. But yeah, so I have been seeing like that viral like cucumber salad all over TikTok, and my aunt did make it like, I don't know, like a month or 2 ago, but she like let it sit in the fridge, and I like the cucumber to be like still crunchy, so I made my own the other night, like a week ago, and oh my god, it was so good. And I was not expecting anything less. Like I knew it was gonna be good, but oh my god, it was so good, and it was so easy. So that's what I'm gonna do after this. I'm gonna make a cucumber salad because it's so good, and like it fills you, but like not too badly, you know? Highly recommend testing that out if you like cucumbers, and also if you like there's a few different recipes of it. I made the like OG like Asian cucumber salad because it was so good, and Asian food is my favorite food, mostly also because I barely have to alter anything when it comes to Asian food, because I have a pretty serious milk allergy. It's not lactose, it's like a whole different thing. It's milk protein, and it's pretty serious, so I need to make sure that I'm like not getting any milk in my food and stuff like that, or any like milk products. And so with a lot of different cuisines or whatever, I have to, you know, alter things to be without milk. Like I use other milk variants, like vegan options normally, but with Asian food I normally don't have to, because a lot of it is milk free already, which is amazing. So I love Asian food, and so making that like Asian cucumber salad was amazing. It was so good, so I highly recommend. What else have I been doing? Not much. Not much. Oh, I've been starting to do my own nails, which is really fun. This sounds really weird, but like in the past like year or two, I've been getting more and more in touch with like my quote unquote feminine side. So like I've been going more into like makeup and like skincare in general and stuff like that, which skincare is not a feminine thing, but like I'm talking like stereotypically feminine things. Obviously makeup, you can be whoever and wear makeup, but you know what I mean. So I've been getting more and more into that. But one thing that I've always loved, no matter what, is nails. I have, like, since a kid, I've always wanted longer nails. I've always loved painting nails, like doing different patterns, stuff like that. I used to just like scroll Instagram and watch videos of people like painting nails. Simply Nailogical, like Christine, Hollow Taco, like that entire thing. I watched her before she like even showed her face. When she just used to do like years, like before she got big at all, when she just used to do like videos where she like painted her nails and stuff like that. Like I used to watch that. So like I've always loved like nails, and I've always wanted long nails, but I have really weak nails and I like stress pick at them and stuff like that, so I can't have like longer nails naturally. Or I mean I can, but it takes a lot, and it's too much for me. And also I like pick at them, and I don't bite them. I used to as a child, but I've gotten out of that habit like for years and years and years now. But I like stress pick at them, and they start to bleed, and it's a whole thing. So I have for years now done like press on nails and stuff like that, and I think 3 times I've done like gone to a salon and done like gel nails there, but it's kind of expensive, and press on nails don't stay on for too long. So I've been seeing so many videos about people doing gel X nails at home, so I've started to do them. I'm on my 2nd set now, and I'm definitely like, I need to improve. Like I know that like these are not perfect, but they look okay, and I'm happy about that. Like I'm proud. Like they could 100% look worse, but I think they look okay. I did the like 3D, like shell nails, if you know anything about nails. I tried to do that kind of thing, but they were like pink, and I really liked them. And people at school noticed because I did them. I think I did them like Wednesday night, like after I got home from the hike. For some reason I decided to do them because I had another set on before, but then I was like kind of tired of it, and I got the like new like builder gel, so I can do the harder gel, so I can do the 3D thing. And so I did that, and like people at school noticed, and it was weird because I didn't expect like anyone to notice, but it was like multiple people, and that was really cool because like people were like complimenting them, and I was like, oh, thank you. It was like my 2nd time doing them myself, and they were like, wait, you did them yourself? So that was pretty cool. And I did like French nails, like 2 of them are French nails, and I did that for the first time, and they turned out pretty great, if I do say so myself. I could definitely improve, but they are pretty clean, and even on my right hand, because I'm I'm right-handed, so doing my right hand nails is a little bit hard, but they look great, and so I can't wait to do my next set, because I also got some like blooming gel in, so I can do that, and I'm so excited. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing that, and then I've just been like slowly but surely like accumulating more makeup and stuff like that. So now I have a whole like makeup and like nail section and like skincare section on my desk, which if you told me that like 2 years ago, I would not have believed you because I for years only wear mascara, but now I've gotten so much, like I don't wear makeup for other people. I wear makeup because I find it fun, and I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. And yeah, I'm really happy. I don't know. And people, I don't know. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I had nothing else to talk about. But specifically about the nails, because now I can do like whatever I want, and I have no one else to blame but myself, and it's not actually that like expensive. So that's really fun, and yeah, I'm really excited about that. But that's really random. Again, like half of you are probably not watching this anymore. But anyways, that's basically it for this video, and I really hope you liked it. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!